Hello and welcome back to another coaching session from leadershipmentor.com. In our time together this week, I want to talk about time management and specifically how can we be most effective in our time during the day. And I want to start out with a question. Can we really manage time? And I know this is somewhat of a silly question, but I want you to think about this whole time management thing in a different context. I want you to think about that as task management. And so, what I mean by that is we need to be working on those tasks that are directly related to your success factors. And you may ask, well, what are success factors? Well, your manager, first of all, is going to determine your success overall. Ultimately, you have to answer to the person that you report to. And so your manager is really the one that needs to help you identify your success factors. So you don't want to be working on areas that are important to you or that you think should be important to your manager. That's not something you want to guess on. You want to get a solid list of things from your manager. And this is done through in our communication plan that we do in our coaching program. We do talk a lot about the importance of how to interact with your manager on a regular basis. But here, when you're meeting with your manager, I think it's important that you go through a process early in your position where you can identify what are the most important things that you want to see from me, and then prioritize those things to say these are the most important. So, for instance, if you're a frontline supervisor, maybe it's quality, and that's the single most important thing would be the quality of work that your team produces. And so you want to make sure that that is your number one focus, and it really helps you to develop a when you're looking at what to do during the day, you can align the things that you're doing in that same aspect so that your priorities are kind of given to you or outlined by your manager. You can also look at your job description, and hopefully you have a job description, and usually these are things that between the manager, a hiring manager, and the human resource department, usually those two areas really put a lot of thought and effort into what is it that's required and expected of this position. And so you can look at that as well to help develop some additional items as well. The last thing I want to talk about is I know a lot of people, I've seen a lot of supervisors that are always busy. So they come into this new role and obviously probably overwhelmed somewhat initially, but over time, what you see is some people are just always busy. They look hectic. They look like they're working long hours, and busy doesn't always mean that they're being productive. In other words, just because they're working, say, 10, 12 hours every single day, are they really doing the things that they're doing? Are they really being productive at doing it? Is there a better way, a faster way, or does it even need to be done at all? And to take that even a step further, being productive is not always effective. And that kind of takes us full circle. I want you to realize that being effective in your position is working on those things that are most important to your success. So in task management, we want to identify and prioritize those success factors that are truly going to help define our success over time. So much different than just simply um, writing out a daily list, for example, and then making this list and then working your list because you want to make sure you're working on the things that are going to really be more important overall to the success of your team and you in your career. So I hope you found that helpful, and I will talk to you again next week. Have a phenomenal week.